Hi Nazym. So I've got some more of your written work here, which is brilliant. It's great to see you submitting more and also to be improving on every time that you do. So you're really doing the best thing you can to improve your English. It's great to see. So the first task that you had was the letter about the children's playground. And we'll look at that one first. So we needed to write to the local council about their children's playground that was being destroyed, and to talk about why it is not well used and what can be done so more people can use it. So let's look at what you've got. Dear Mr. Lee, I'm contacting you with regard of dismantling of children's playground in the Mobile District. Being one of dwellers of the Mobile District, who is a proud mother of 3 toddlers, I highly appreciate the availability of playgrounds. However, the local council decided to disrupt the main one because the number of children playing there decreases with the time being. The major reason for the drop of attendance is that swings of this particular playground suffer from severe deterioration. Many parents are afraid that their children might fall down from them. Okay, let's have a look then. So, in the start of the letter, I'm contacting you with regard is a good way to start, especially in a formal letter where you are addressing somebody that you haven't met before. This is good. So, what we need to follow after that is I'm contacting you with regard to the dismantling of the children's playground in the Mobile District. Okay, so with regard to the dismantling of the children's playground in the Mobile District. Okay, so being one of dwellers of the Mobile District. Okay, so here we could say either being one of the inhabitants of the Mobile District, or you could also say living in the Mobile District and being a proud mother of 3 toddlers. I highly appreciate the availability of playgrounds. Good, that part there is really good. I highly appreciate the availability of playgrounds. Good. However, the local council decided to disrupt the main one because the number of children playing there decreases with the time being. This last part, we need to change it slightly. So the number of children playing there has decreased over time. So decreased in the past tense, decreased, over time. The major reason for the drop of attendance, so here attendance would normally be for school or work, somewhere where you have to go rather than somewhere where you choose to go. We might say here the major reason for the drop in usage, so usage of the park, usage being USAGE, okay, is that the swings in this particular playground suffer from severe deterioration. Here, instead of suffer from, because they're inanimate objects, I think we would use instead, in this particular playground, are severely deteriorated. So using the adjective instead. So are severely deteriorated. Many parents are afraid that their children might, so instead of fell down, we'd say fall off. So FALL, new word, OFF. So many parents are afraid that their children might fall off them. Okay, the next part, despite the fact that the decision has already been made, good, well done, I'm kindly asking you to rethink it in terms of not only leaving the playground as it is, but also of arranging a proper maintenance of the playing area. Okay, so here, but also to arrange to arrange regular maintenance of the playing area. Good. That will definitely increase the number of children playing there. Well done. Good. To support my words, so here, to support this, instead of my words, to support this, I performed a small survey among parents who live in the area to make sure that the number of families visiting the place will increase. The results of the survey are attached to this letter. Yours sincerely, Nazym. Well done. Brilliant. This is really good. Okay, so just a few changes that we've mentioned in there, but overall, your structures that you've used are very good. I like the way that you're varying the beginnings of your sentences, which is particularly important in the exam. So, despite the fact that is great. However, many parents, these are all really good starts to your sentences. As well as that, using to support this as well is a nice start. So really great work, well done. Let's move on to your second piece then. So this is your second piece on childcare and whether it's good for the child's overall development to be dropped at childcare around the time that their parents are at work. Okay, so let's start with your introduction. Many children in today's world attend preschool which work beyond normal schedule in downtown areas. This essay will discuss the increased convenience for parents as a result of their toddlers spending more time in kindergartens as major advantage and spending time in unhealthy areas among skyscrapers for children as a major disadvantage by proving points and stating arguments from Vanderbilt University and Western Tennessee University. Okay, good. So, many children in today's world attend preschool, which works beyond normal schedule in downtown areas. So here, this bit is a little bit unclear because it's not clear what you mean by normal schedule. So it could be that we say many children in today's society attend preschool, which is open beyond normal working hours in downtown areas. Next, we've got a very long sentence. So it might be that we need to split this into two sentences. So, we could say here, this essay will discuss the increased convenience for parents as a result of their toddlers spending more time in kindergartens. And that could be the end of that sentence. Now, kindergartens is a German word, and it's one word, in fact, and it's Kindergartens. Okay, so we'll end that sentence after kindergartens. Then it would be good to use a structure which shows opposites. So, we could say, on the one hand, there is increased convenience, but on the other, spending time in unhealthy areas among skyscrapers is a major disadvantage. And then we could end that sentence and say, I will explore this by proving points and stating arguments from Vanderbilt University and Western Tennessee University. Okay, so see how we've broken that long sentence down into 2 or 3 shorter sentences. Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. So parents who work under tough deadlines often find it very useful to leave their offspring in places close to their offices that work over regular hours. So for work over regular hours, we could say that are open for extended hours. Not only are parents able to spend longer hours at their workplaces, but they also do not have to rush to pick up their children from the care centre at 5 p.m. No need for strict there. So from the care centre at 5 p.m. For instance, recent research published by Vanderbilt University indicated that 75% of parents whose children attend centres near their office places tend to be more relaxed than those whose children go to kindergartens in suburban areas. Okay, so this one here, again we need to change kindergartens, so to that instead of 2 words is 1 word. and good, and suburban, so suburban, suburban areas. Therefore, the child visiting the preschool near the parent's place of work is beneficial for the parent. Okay, so instead of we're going to say therefore, children visiting or attending here rather than visiting, attending preschool near the parent's workplace is beneficial for the parent. Okay, if we just go back slightly to this phrase, for instance, we don't really want to use for instance here because we're not giving an example of parents picking up their children at 5 p.m. But instead, we would say this is supported by, because we've mentioned about people not having to pick up their children at 5 p.m. and then we're saying why this is a good thing. So it's supported rather than an instance where we'd use for instance or for example. Good, okay, so this is looking really good. Let's go on to this third paragraph. So, despite these advantages, many toddlers who go to preschools in downtown areas often feel themselves not well. Okay, so, many toddlers who go to preschools in downtown areas are often unwell. So instead of not well, unwell, UNWELL, all one word, unwell. Furthermore, many of them suffer from lung-related diseases as they breathe, so with an E at the end, BREATHE, polluted air in crowded districts with lots of traffic jams. Here we could just say with lots of traffic. For example, Western Tennessee University research issued in 2018 shows that 70% of children visiting care centres in business districts suffer from one type or another of lung disease. Okay, so here, to make this simpler, we could say in business districts suffer from a type, instead of one type, a type of lung disease. Be careful with this word because disease means to die, where instead we want disease, which is DISEASE. Okay, and that's the same for here as well, so lung-related diseases. Okay, so DISEAS, disease, ES on the end for diseases. Okay, hence preschools in downtown bring disadvantages to children. Okay, so hence preschools in polluted areas, I think we would say instead, to link with your idea of traffic and pollution. So hence preschools in polluted areas bring disadvantages to children. Okay, to conclude, comma, taking the child to the care centre close to the office is advantageous for the parents. However, they have to be careful that it does not deteriorate children's health. Fantastic last part there, so deteriorate children's health is good. Taking here, instead of being specific with the child, would say taking children to care centres close to the office is advantageous for the parents. Okay. But yeah, some really good work here. You've got some fantastic phrases that you've used, just like we said about the letter. It's got a nice structure as well, so you've got a good introduction. You've followed that with your advantages and then your disadvantages and then your conclusion. I would say the one thing that is missing is your own opinion, as that doesn't seem to be in here at all. So it could be that you put that into the conclusion and possibly say something along the lines of, personally, I believe that, and explain your opinion there. Conversely, you could put it in the introduction, but I would say that your introduction is already of a good size. So I think the conclusion would be better in this instance. But yeah, like I said, some really good work here. The main changes are for word order, and occasionally where we're being specific, where we want to be more general. So instead of saying the child, we would want to say children instead, because we're talking about a general situation. But yeah, fantastic work on both pieces. You should be really proud. Well done.